Hey you guys, so today we are looking at this, which is Frankenstein Complete Legacy Collection. All 8 films from the original Legacy, 1931 to 1948. All 8 films from the legacy of the original Frankenstein, including Frankenstein 1931, Bride of Frankenstein 1935, Son of Frankenstein 1943, The Ghost of Frankenstein 1942, Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman 1943, House of Frankenstein 1944, House of Dracula 1945, and Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein 1948. The original Frankenstein is one of the silver screen's most unforgettable characters, and along with the other Universal classic monsters, define the Hollywood horror genre. Frankenstein Complete Legacy Collection includes all 8 films from the original Legacy, including the tragic classic starring Boris Karloff and the timeless films that followed. These landmark motion pictures define the iconic look of the Henry Frankenstein monster and his bride, and continue to inspire countless remakes and adaptations that strengthen the legacy of Frankenstein to this day. So, the Frankenstein Files, the bonus features. Frankenstein Files, How Hollywood Made a Monster. I keep using the word monster, I'd rather said creature. Monster, Karloff, the Genital Monster. Frankenstein Archives, Boo, a short film. She's Alive, Creating the Bride of Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein Archives. Abbott and Costello Meet the Monsters, and feature commentaries, and more. I will say most of the feature commentaries and extras are on the first 2 discs, the Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. There are odd extras on some of the others. I think Abbott and Costello has some extras on it as well. I didn't watch that one actually today. I've watched most of the others this week. Yeah. So this is the old Universal boxes, which usually means, oh, there's a disc free. There isn't. They're all in for a change. So we have, obviously, Frankenstein. That is the same disc as you've got in the big box set. It's also got the same extras as the old DVDs. That we've had for quite some time now, so but the picture quality is fantastic, as is the Bride of Frankenstein, and it's kind of strange that it's also got the same extras as well as the other versions you've seen. So, but they are fantastic. These are 2. I remember when DVDs first came out and they had extras on them. I snapped up all the Universal Monster ones, and they were I watched the extras just as much as I watch the films. I still will put these on and watch the making ofs on them. I'll probably do this while I'm editing today, because I've got a few videos to edit, so I will probably put one of these on and watch the extras. They're great, great background noise. Interesting fact, Elsa Lancaster, if you watch Mary Poppins, she is the first nanny that storms out. Yeah, so go watch. Well, don't watch it now, because I'm on, and you're watching me. But when you get a chance, watch Mary Poppins. She is the grumpy nanny at the beginning. She was also married to the guy that played the Hunchback of Notre Dame. What's his name? I've got all their names written down here. No, I haven't. No, he's not on the list. But yeah, she was married to the guy that played the Hunchback of Notre Dame in the Universal films. Son of Frankenstein, which is very like the Mel Brooks. There's a bit at the beginning which is very similar to that, but Son of Frankenstein has Sherlock Holmes, whose name has gone right out of my head. I'm getting terrible with names. It's just been stuck in for so long. What's his name? I keep, all I want to say is Boris Karloff all the time. It's weird, isn't it? Basil Rathbone. It's got Basil Rathbone in it as the Son of Frankenstein, and then the Son of Frankenstein has a son who's this little kid who, hello there, and he's really odd, but really fun with it. And he is also apparently the voice of Bambi in the Disney film, and later went on to be in the Marines, and he was in Vietnam, but he never told anybody he was the voice of Bambi, because he knew they'd take the mick. Funny enough, I always wanted to be a Navy SEAL. Actually, no, I wanted to be a baby seal because it's really cute. Anyway, Ghost of Frankenstein, which is the... now, Bela Lugosi is in that one as Igor. He's back in that one as Igor as well. And that one also has... I nearly said Robert Downey Jr. then. It also has Lon Chaney Jr. in it as Frankenstein. He's weird because he was the only person to ever play the Wolfman. But then he went on to play Frankenstein in this. He was also the Mummy. He was also kind of, is it the son of Dracula? He's in one of the Dracula films. Yeah, he played different ones, but he was the only guy that ever played the Wolfman in all of these. And talking Wolfman, we have Frankenstein Meets Wolfman, which is probably one of my favourites. The last disc has 3 films on it. Frankenstein Meets Wolfman, which is probably one of my favourites. This has Bela Lugosi as Frankenstein, because the brain of Igor in that one is put in, I think at the end of that, is put into the creature. And in that one, they edited his voice out because he was talking and they said it's not working. So it's kind of weird because you can see his mouth moving and people do talk back to him. But, Then we have House of Frankenstein and House of Dracula, which two kind of weird ones. House of Frankenstein does have Boris Karloff back as a doctor that's trying to wake up the creature. These last two are kind of really weird because it's like there's a separate story for each of the creatures, the universal monsters, and then they all kind of come together at the end. They are fun to watch, but you may only watch them once. Again, they are great background noise for me. I put them on, and because the bits of the story I like, I can switch into and then switch out when it's the iffy bits. You've got Carradine in there, who is Kill Bill's dad, playing the vampire in one of them. They're kind of interesting. They're an interesting concept, and worth a watch, even if, like I say, you only watch them once. Then, when I got this from trading before everything closed down, and the guy in the shop was like panicking because there was a dismiss, and I was like, no, that's just how Universal do it, because otherwise there'd be too many discs. My other Universal box set is my other favourite one is Fast and Furious, because every time I open that, one of the discs has escaped, and it's usually a different disc. But then you have Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which is brilliant. It's kind of odd, but it's great to see them all back together, and it's got some great comedy in it. I actually really like it. I actually really like it. So I think there's some extras on it as well, which are quite good. As you can see, it's slightly different packaging. See, look, oh, it's got a disc to escape then. It's a Bride of Frankenstein today. These little knobbly bits in the bin layer aren't just big enough. So, yeah, as box sets go, first two are classics. That's pretty good. That's not as bad as you think it would be. Frankenstein Meets Wolfman is, I like it, though it is. I watched it the other day and it's kind of, it is kind of bad. And I think it also has the Lestrade from the Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes films in it at the beginning. And guess what? He's playing a police officer and he seems like it's Lestrade. I remember watching these as a kid. They did a season of them on BBC Two, and my dad take them because they showed them late at night because they're horror films. And my dad take them and we'd watch them on a Sunday morning. And I kind of remember Frankenstein Meets Wolfman being one of my favourites. And I think there is a line in that one where he says, "We must be frank with this monster," which made me giggle. But yeah, they're worth a watch. And like I say, the extras, which one's falling out there? Because it felt like somebody'd fallen out there. You can hear them rattling. It is definitely, the boxes are also, look, pain in the butt to close, which means you'll end up breaking one of these. Kind of got to do it like that. There we go. So, yeah. If you like your Universal Monsters, this is probably a great choice. The problem I had was that in the box sets, if you get say you get the Wolfman one, it's got 2 films in there. I think it's She-Wolf of London and another one, which I can't remember the name of. But anyway, you've got 2 films in there that aren't in this set. But you do get, in the Wolfman set, you get the Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, House of Frankenstein and House of Dracula. And Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein. So I was like, well, I don't need those again. So if you get the Dracula one, right, you also get, and I don't know why it's in there, it's because they're on the same disc. You get Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, House of Frankenstein and House of Dracula. Yeah, they repeat certain films, but then you get an odd one, Son of Frankenstein, Son of Dracula and Daughter of Dracula are only available in the Dracula. So you've got to make your mind up which of these you're happy to, you know. And like I said, this was in trading. I think it was it 15 quid in trading or something? I think it was less than that actually, but it's worth a pickup if you can get it. Just because, I mean, the films look great in Blu-ray. Funny enough, Frankenstein meets Wolfman. I was watching that the other day. It actually looks like it's been filmed now, and you know when they parody old films, it looks like that. It's brilliant. So yeah, I would give this an A. Go out and get it. So if you have enjoyed watching me witter about this, then please hit the likes, hit the shares, hit the subscribes. You know what to do down there. Thank you to all of those of you who subscribed. Please look after yourselves, stay home, be safe. I hope you all have a great day, hope you all have a great night, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.